All right, man. So today we got the top 5 tips for beginners. So let's go ahead and jump to it. Number 1 tip is to drag your finger instead of lifting it. So for example, let's say you're holding your defend button and you're guarding your defender, but you find it difficult to block shots when you have your finger on the defend button. That's because you're lifting your finger and then tapping the block button. But a more efficient way to get this done, it's not that much faster, but inside of a video game, the amount of frames that it takes you to perform an action definitely matters. So you'll be able to skip those additional frames that you're using to lift your finger and then tap the block button by just simply dragging your finger from the defend button to the block button. This is what all the really good pro players do. And another example of this is to drag your finger from the box out button to the rebound button when you're going for a rebound. So this way you don't end up ending your box out by accident, and then they just end up getting the rebound over you anyway. So tip number 2 is don't dribble for too long. So a lot of people don't know this because they don't tell you this, but the longer you dribble the ball, the easier it becomes to steal from you over time. So when you first catch the ball, that's the lowest possible chance because you have complete immunity, and then once that immunity runs out and that clock starts ticking while you have the ball in your hand, you're going to lose stamina, and the lower your stamina is, the easier it's going to be for people to steal from you. You don't want to dribble too much against characters like Ayumi because she will steal the ball from you, so make sure you're being careful inside of those instances. So tip number 3 is don't press steal randomly. There's a really good reason for this, and that reason is if you're constantly just spamming the steal button, that means you're constantly giving your person space, and the more space you give them, the higher the probability is of them getting a wide open shot. You don't want to give away open shots, so make sure you're only pressing steal when 1, they've been dribbling the ball for too long, then it's safe to reach, but make sure you're being careful with those. Another time that's good to steal the ball is when they're dribble restricted. So when they're holding the ball with both of their hands, that counts as them being dribble restricted. That's also a really good time to steal the ball because they're not able to move, and on top of that, your steal rate increases on characters who are dribble restricted. So the last scenario where I would recommend going for a steal is after you bump your opponent. So when they run into you, you see their body bounce back a little bit. That's also a really good time to go for a steal because they cannot perform any actions during that time, and it also increases your steal rate as well. So number 4 is to help on screens. So you're playing against this perimeter team with someone like a Fire King, and they're getting a screen from the center on the perimeter. You play center or power forward. You're just hanging out under the rim. Your teammates need help on the perimeter, but you're not going out there. So you want to make sure you play the sides of the screens. So you don't want to be trying to go through the screen or go around the screen. You want one person on one side of the screen, the other person on the other side of the screen. So the center or power forward that's setting that screen, they might cut to the rim and end up getting 2 points off of a dunk or a layup, but the ultimate goal when helping on the perimeter is to stop them from getting 3. Stopping the opponent from getting 3 is extremely important inside this meta because it is so easy to get those. So number 5, prioritize the open shot, dunk, or layup. So I noticed that a lot of people, they try their best to, like, they're dribbling for too long when they're trying to find a shot. And what you can do instead of that is if you have 2 defenders on you, you simply just pass to the open man. And if you're passing to the open man when there are 2 on you, they'd be less inclined to double team you because they know you'll pass the ball. I know this from personal experience because my whole play style revolves around this. I just draw extra defenders. I pass to the open man because they see I can't be stopped on a 1v1. Anyone that 1v1s me 9 times out of 10, they cannot stop me. And if you're also unstoppable inside of a one-on-one situation, then passing the ball will be your strongest tool because there will be help defense. So we got one last bonus tip. Subscribe for update news, more tips and ways to use characters that you've never thought of before. So that's it. Now catch you on the next one.